All right, let's see who's coming in here today. Welcome into the Tuesday edition, everybody, the training. Let's see, as everyone's coming in, as always, it would be great to get a one in the chat if you're new to Dubb, two in the chat if you're returning. That's always helpful. Other than the names I obviously already recognize. Jai, welcome back, my friend. Dan, welcome back. Let's see. Jason, yeah, welcome back, my friend. Let's see. Neil. Neil, are you new to Dub or you return? No, Neil, I remember your headshot now. As soon as I see your headshot, I know it's you. Welcome back, Neil. And let's see who else. Robert, Robert Harris. Robert, are you new or are you returning, Robert? You can unmute yourself if you want to say hi. If not, you can put a one in the chat if you're new, two if you're returning. That would be helpful if you don't mind. Your name looks familiar, but at some point, everybody's name looks a little bit familiar, so that's usually the way it kind of runs. Let's see. Let me click over here. Okay. I'm gonna put this in the chat right now, and if anybody has recorded any videos yet, and you want feedback on them, really encourage you to send them over to feedback at Dubb. I just dropped it into the chat. So if you've been using Dubb for a while, and you've been doing a certain style and you're trying something new, feel free to send something over. Like if you've done a bunch of screen recordings and you want to try the mobile video, or you've done a bunch of mobile and you want to try screen or webcam or virtual background or holding up the phone with the name on it, feel free to send something over because a lot of the times a slight adjustment or if you give a use case like, hey, I'm trying to do this, well, we've seen a certain kind of video style work well over the years. So that's something to really think about in terms of if you've been recording one kind of video, what's another kind of video you want to try to record to kind of speak to your audience. Let's see, Jason, thanks for putting it on the chat. Hello to your wife, Tish. Nice to meet you, Tish, as you can probably hear me here. So if anybody has any questions, as usual, feel free to drop them in the chat as we kind of move along. The one thing I wanted to start with today is this part right here. I'm going to share my screen. And if you haven't kind of taken this in, you can take a screenshot of this if you want to. But right here, we cover this every once in a while, and this is probably a good time to kind of look at this here. But if you check this out, this is a growth cycle that we talk about. We presented it in the past, but if you haven't really taken a screenshot of this, it's always kind of good to get. This is really about where to kind of add Dubb into the cycle here. So we called it the growth cycle, but similar to like a sales cycle where you have your prospecting, your nurturing, your closing, your client comm, your content mining, your lead generation. So when you think about prospecting, it's usually typically one to one. It could be one to many with email and SMS campaigns. And usually what that ends up when you do a prospecting, it's like, hey, what do you want them to do when they're done? Typically it's a booking link. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Book a time in my calendar below. The styles that we're going to cover in a little bit for prospecting, webcam works great, but there's different scenarios that I'll show in terms of the style that works pretty good. And then nurturing, screen videos are great for nurturing, where you can share your screen, walk someone through something. So maybe you reached out to a prospect and you presented a concept or an idea or a question, and they haven't taken the next step yet. They haven't subscribed, they haven't bought, they haven't done their thing. The nurturing process is really adding information along the way. So, when you present something, it's by the way, listen, here's an aspect of it related to what you do that might make sense. So, a screen video that was shown a little bit, walking someone through something can typically take someone from having an idea of the value you're trying to kind of offer, but it kind of takes it to the next level where, oh, I can specifically see about what you're talking about. It's kind of like a teacher with a chalkboard. And then the closing aspect of it, there could be a document walkthrough. You can use a screen recorder to kind of annotate where they need to sign, parts that they need to be educated on. You could share testimonials with them that you have from other clients that really kind of bring it over the finish line. Case studies work really great. If you have clients where you've done, a really significant change in their business, you could put together a little case study talking about where they started, where they ended up, and people really like to see those things. And then once they're a client, client communication is great. Video is fantastic for that. Dropping a quick little screen video to someone on something. Maybe you have a coaching, advice that you want to pass to them. Maybe you're doing a mobile app video with a quick little piece of advice. But video communication, once they become a client, is kind of breathing life into the whole back and forth because they can hear you, they can see you, and all that good stuff. And then the retention rate supposedly is better with videos as well. And then you have the content mining. So when you do have these clients that you're working with and they really love, your product or service, It's really about getting those video testimonials, getting the stats that you need from your team and communicating with the client that you have to show that growth. And then getting reviews, when you have different review sites, getting those different reviews, sending a quick video to say, hey, listen, I would love to get your reviews. The links are below. It'll take you right to the spot where you can leave a review because that really is kind of the lifeblood of most businesses is seeing the reviews, hearing other people and what they have to say about it. And then obviously you take the next step. And then the last part of it is lead generation, where you do your YouTube videos, you have your social media content. And as you're going to see in a little bit, when you create these videos and you put them on social media, you want to have a link below or a link in a bio that takes you to a page where someone can learn more and they can actually take an action. So along the way, with any one of these 6 areas of the growth cycle, you're able to add video into those parts, and the style of it will make sense in terms of your crowd and what you're trying to get across. Now, typically, when you record these videos in general, it all begins with the animated GIF. What is someone going to see for those first 3 seconds? So you really want to put some thought into what that means. So when you hit record with Dubb, whatever you're doing for the first 3 seconds is going to be what repeats. You can, with editing, change that when inside the platform, which is fine. But to be efficient and really do this stuff at a higher level, get ready before you go, have it ready to go, and then you just get moving with it. Because a lot of the times when people get videos in general, visually, what's going to stop them? So if we just take this example just isolated, this example, webcam video recorded, Dubb mobile app on the phone, whiteboard function to type whatever you want to type. So if I'm reaching out to someone and it's for the first time, what's the phrase or thing that's going to make them stop? A lot of the times when you use someone's name, that's great. I mean, it's better than someone not sending a video and not using the name. So if you do that, you're already ahead of a ton of people that don't even do that, don't even send video. So even if you just waved and smiled, that's still ahead of a lot of other people. But you really want to think about what is on there because if I was reaching out to Sarah about something within her industry, what would be a question or a statement that would stop her and say, okay, that's interesting. That's related to what I do. And if it's one to many, like you're re-engaging with your circle of influence or you're reaching out to a group of people, what's the one phrase, fact, or question that the entire group can relate to and want to know about that gives them some level of context, some wanting to click? So, is it an update? Is it an event coming up? Is it about an action that they took? Because a lot of the times, people that if you have ads out there or you have some kind of campaign and someone does something, like maybe they signed up for a free trial, they did something, but then they kind of just disappeared, you know, they did take an action. So maybe they downloaded something. Hey, about your download, next step, things like that where they can really see and have some context. In general, when you send them by email, it's always nice to have the word video appear in the subject line. It's rarely seen when you send that in your inbox. If you look at your inbox now, I guarantee you probably won't even see one that says video in it. You maybe, but it's rare. So definitely always have that. Definitely some text in terms of why they should watch that video. And if you're doing this style right here with this message on there, it's always nice to be very closely mirrored in the subject line because obviously you have to get them to open it first and then get to that point. So video will help in terms of the open, but then mirroring whatever's on the phone if you're using this style, what's the hook, question, phrase, statement that's going to get them to open this? If they took an action, mention the action that they took. If they didn't take an action but it's re-engagement, what's the update? Why should they even click in here? So this is really what you want to think about. Because once they're in here, then they see the animated GIF, they see this, they're okay, oh great, I have some context, let me click. And then once they click, then it's really about what they're seeing on the other side. Do they see your logo? They should. Do they see the video that you recorded? Then they're going to see playlist videos that will play right after this video that you did create. And the first video is really all about that person or that group, question statement, value that you can offer. So, in other words, what would the value be defined as? The value can be defined as you mentioning some factoid or something that they don't know. That's value. A lot of people do that on social media just to watch a video to learn something. But it could also be in the form of something they can download below. Maybe there's a link below that they can take them to somewhere, some kind of guide that offers them some guidance on some topic. And then the last part of the video is getting them to do something. Click below, take a next step. But the first initial video, should probably be 30 seconds or less. It should get right into it. And it's less about you and what you do and more about them and recognizing their industry and their position and where they are and what kind of solution or question you can be asking that makes them stop. Then in the playlist, you can have a video that you already record one time that's an evergreen playlist video where it's about what you do and all the great things. Like it's basically your pitch video, why someone should work with you, your services or products, all compacted into like a minute or a minute and a half, two max. And then you never have to repeat any of that stuff because it will always play right after. And you can even reference in the first video, by the way, check out this next video. It's going to talk all about why you should work with me, what we've done, all that great stuff. And then if you have video testimonials, if you currently already have them, this is a nice place to put them in here. If you don't have them, I'll explain a little quick way to get them in 1 second. But below here, you have your call to action buttons. These are the next steps. So they consume the content, and then what should they do down here? If you have multiples down here, definitely go in order of importance from left to right. If you want them to book a time in your calendar, that's pretty popular in sales. I mean, probably the number one button. But you can also have them email you back. They can fill out a form. They could have a link to your website. They could download a document, a listing agreement, a contract, a training guide. This little button right here, reply with video. Sometimes people send videos back when they have questions on things. It's rare. It's not, I wouldn't say it's a ton. The main use case for reply with video is really getting video testimonials. So instead of meeting your clients in Zoom or Google Meet or whatever and just, recording it and having to edit it, what you can do is you can send them a video and put reply with video below, and it makes it much easier for them to send back and easier for you because you can send it and say, hey, it's Rob. Listen, thanks so much for using the Dubb platform. Would love to get a video testimonial from you. Guess what? It's super easy. It's not complicated. You don't have to download anything. You don't have to do some Shakespearean presentation. I just have a couple questions for you. All you have to do is click reply with video below, and you can send me a video right back. And then you can either ask them a series of questions, like lead them into the questions that you want them to answer, or you can let them free flow, or whatever you'd like to do. Then they send the video back to you. Inside the Dubb platform, you get a little notification that says, hey, you've got a video reply. And then you just make it part of your playlist. And this has been the combination that you really want to focus on for when they land here. Now, the other part of it is over here to the right. This is the Sales Interactive Assistant. This is called SIA. We did this about a year and a half ago. You don't have to have it on the page if you don't want to, the AI, but the AI does give you the ability to really focus on a helper on the page because when people click on the videos, maybe they're going to take the next step or they're thinking about it, but they want some clarity on some things maybe. So what they can do over here is you can have up to 20 FAQs. You can ask the AI a question. And when the AI is educated and trained, it's going to give an answer on the question like it did here. And then it's going to push for a desired outcome at the end. Typically, the desired outcome is whatever you want to have happen next, whether it's book a time, go to a website, download something, all the stuff we talked about. And the education of SIA here is done inside the Dubb platform. You add resource links, which are website links, if you have them, and it will physically learn what's in text on the pages. It won't watch videos or click on any links. It's just will ever physically be on that text. And then you can also upload a PDF as well. You can do one or the other, or you can do both. And then the SIA will be completely educated on what you do and the reason for your outreach. These whole pages right here, these preset landing pages are designed to speak to certain parts of your audience. So if I was in real estate and I represented buyers, sellers, FSBOs, expireds, I would want different landing page presets that would speak to those particular buckets of my audience. Same thing with coaching and consulting. If I had different industries, I would want one maybe if I did healthcare, tech, science, whatever it is. If I was in recruitment, if I did both employers and candidates, boom. If I did different industries, I would have one for those. Insurance, mortgage, it's all the same. You would just take parts of your audience, split them up in terms of their area of the products that you're selling and the services that would make sense to them. If you have one message for all of your clients, then you have your one page that speaks to all of them. And these sales assistants that you see here on the pages, they can either be educated with everything that you do, or they can just be on the specific landing pages for those specific parts of your audience, and they're educated just on that. Like if this was a buyer landing page in real estate, it would just be educated on the buying aspect. So you can just do that as well. And you can save them all within inside the platform like that. Now, as far as the recording styles, this one right here, this one right here, they're both done from the same camera, both from the same webcam inside the platform, virtual background or holding the phone. You can do a combination of both. Like if I was in real estate, I could put something behind me like this. I could have a property behind me. And then I also could take my whiteboard and I could have the property address on it like that. So I could do one or the other, or I could just combine the both. I could put the property behind me, screenshot, have the address right here, or I could say one fact about, and it shows the property behind if someone was interested in the listing. You could do the same thing if someone was interested in your coaching program. You could have something behind it there, someone's profile, like you see right here. Like I could have Sarah's profile behind me and have a question for her specifically. So it's really just about combining or using one or the other in terms of styles to make this happen. You also can use screen recording, like we talked about before. If you want to pull up a website and you want to walk someone through something with annotations, pointing things out, the Chrome extension screen recorder can go on top of any browser-based website that you have. If you want to reach out on LinkedIn, it's a great way to reach out on LinkedIn. It's put yourself in a bubble beyond their profile. If you want to go a little bit deeper, we have the Dubb desktop app that can go on top of Canva slides, videos, anything on your desktop. And you can get very specific because if you look at this as an example, this Dubb desktop app screen recorder, this is zoomed in on the real estate market page. It's cropped around something very specific, and I'm able to point that out. So if someone got this and said, "Oh, wow, okay, the median price here, it looks like that's what he's pointing out. That's probably what this video is about." But again, even if you do something like this that is very much right next to the title, they recognize what it is, that still leagues ahead of what other people are doing. And then if you have the mobile app, this right here, picture in picture, is a great function to use. It uses both cameras on the phone. If you're doing a property walkthrough, you're showing what's in front of you, but you're also narrating it because you're right there as well. And if you're not in real estate, if you're in coaching, consulting, mortgage, what, any other industry, if you pulled something up on your site, say it was your coaching program, and you pulled it up and you're pulling it up on your laptop or your desktop and you're filming it with your, you can see here, you're filming it with your phone and you're narrating. That's kind of a cool way to look at it. You can pull up someone's website where you want to point something out. You can do the same thing. You can even go on a walk and start talking to someone about some advice. Maybe you have them as a client already, and you want to give the prospect, I mean the client, a piece of advice on their strategy. But visually, it's really just about visually what are they seeing. That's really kind of what you want to focus on with this. Now, something like this right here, if you want to record something like this, just go inside the Dubb dashboard, inside here, you click on the red camera icon at the top. That immediately opens up your webcam. And if you want to use a virtual background, just go behind here, go below, click virtual background. You have a whole bunch of stock images down here, but you can go to your photos. You can upload any screenshots that you have. So just think about what are my screenshots? And then you have them in here, and then they're all in this library in here that you're building out. And then it's basically just about choosing what you want behind you to give the proper context that you want. Just make sure you have good front light. Keep your arms within your shoulder range within here. T-Rex arms, like dinosaur short arms, right within here if you want to do any movement. And then below here, if you want to not use the virtual background, uncheck it. Grab the Dubb mobile app on your phone. And when you do get the Dubb mobile app, it's just this little button right up here at the top that you're going to use for the whiteboard. So mobile app, whiteboard right here, the little square with the person at the bottom. All you do is click there, and that's where you're able to type. And once you type, then you're able to do this. And again, it could be any message, question, name, all the stuff we talked about. Grab it like this, turn it like that, and there it is. It's nice and simple, just like this. And then on this recording here, down over here to the bottom, if you'd like a tighter frame in here, you can go closer if you want to. You can back it up like this. And then every recording option in Dubb has a teleprompter if you want to use one. Teleprompters are really good for once you practice them and get used to them, it ends up sounding really natural. You can put branding stuff in front of you, stats that you need, maybe exact phrasing you want to get exactly right. You don't have to use them if you like going off the top of your head and you kind of know what you want to say and you're doing your thing, that's totally fine. But if you want to try them, they're pretty cool and they're pretty efficient once you start getting used to them. So if you want one, just click in here on the top. You can go right to scripting inside of Dubb to create a script, or you can copy and paste. You can search within scripts that you have saved, or you can always search by the name of your script. And when it does come down, you're going to have your speed that you can adjust right here. Play button to see if you actually like that speed, if you want a little quicker, a little slower. You can back the text off and you can zoom it in. Now, depending on the mood of the script, if it's super high energy and you're really excited about something, maybe the speed's a little bit quicker. But maybe if it's something a little more serious, a little more, you really want to explain something step by step, maybe you bring the cadence down really slow. It's always good beforehand. I always like to hit play and just practice and just read it through, see how it sounds. If anything surprises you in the script, you don't want it to surprise you. You want to know kind of what's coming, is you'll have the proper inflection. And then it just gives you time to hear it out loud, before you do it. Now, if I was going to record something with this, with the phone right here, this is what it would look like. I'd hit record, I get my countdown, and it would be like this. Hey, John, this is Rob from Dubb. We are the sales operating system. We use video, automation, and contact management to create connections, conversations, and conversions. And I can hit the pause button if I want to take a break, which is totally fine if your video is a little longer or even if it's shorter. If you just want to say the opening paragraph, take a break, take a beat, do it. You have the ability to do that. You also can delete it. It'll ask you, are you sure? So it won't just delete it if you don't confirm it. And then if you want to save it into the platform, it's the blue check mark right here that'll save it into Dubb. So reaching out, phone, virtual background, right from your webcam. You can do this right here. It's a nice, simple way to reach out with a very specific thing that you want to focus on when you're reaching out. Click the check mark down the bottom, and that's going to save it into the platform. When Dubb saves a video into the platform, it's going to go to the video edit page inside of Dubb. And once it's here inside the video edit page, you can do a number of things. So any video that you save into Dubb will go to the video library. And when you're inside here, this is where you can do some stuff. You can immediately change the title at the top internally if you want to change it. You have the ability to change this to a different landing page if you want to that the video is on. So like we looked at earlier, those preset landing pages, if you create a number of them, like we talked about for the different parts of your audience, you always can change the landing page to something else. See how it says Rob's preset right here? That's my default preset. So you're always going to have a default landing page. So whenever you record a video, it's always going to be certain buttons, certain videos, certain branding, and it will always be there. But you can always switch it to something else if you wanted to. So that gives you the ability to do that, this drop down right here. If you want to preview what this landing page looks like with the video on it, just click the little button to the right, opens up a separate tab, and you're like, okay, cool, here's all my stuff. Great. See what it looks like, make sure you like it. And then when you're back over here, you also have the ability to have a QR code for every video. So if you're doing like an open house in real estate, have a QR code on the counter. If you're doing physical mail marketing for whatever industry that you're in, have a QR code on there with a hey, welcome video. Hey, thanks for picking up my flyer. They're great for live events. You can have it on your phone or have it set up when you're out doing an event somewhere and someone's able to click on it. So it's really effective in terms of that. You also can upload these directly to YouTube. So if you have a YouTube channel, they can go right out to your YouTube channel. Below here, you have analytics on any video that you save into Dubb. It says no activity, and that's just because we haven't sent it. But if we do, you do have the ability to drill down on a lot of these things. Did someone watch the video? If they did, what's the watch percentage? Did they click on anything? Any of the buttons, any of the emails, did they just viewed the page? It gives you a lot of information to follow up very specifically with someone. You also have the ability to have Kyra. This is our AI video coach right here. And it's going to give you non-biased feedback on the videos that you record. So as soon as you're done doing them, right away it's going to be, oh, wow, okay, I have feedback on this, feedback on this. And it's going to give you delivery analysis. Are you being repetitive? How's your cadence? How's your persuasiveness? Positivity. The thing with repetition, you got to take with a grain of salt because in sales, you are repeating some things to kind of hammer home the point. But as far as the profanity and the slang and the jargon, that really depends on your branding, actually. But when you get the feedback here, you're going to get content feedback. So you can see that right here that it's going to give you. You're also going to get feedback on your visuals right here. Now, the framing is you take a grain of salt with the framing. You might want to be a little closer. Maybe you want to be backed up more. Maybe you're in the bubble on a different spot. So that could be for a very specific reason. But either rate, it's always great to see this different feedback right away when you record these things. And then you always have a details tab. This details tab is going to remind you what's on the page because we know on the page is made up of a number of things. It's made up of playlist videos, it's made up of buttons, the sales assistant to the right, that's what the page is made up of. So when we look at the details section, here's our buttons, our call to action buttons. Here's our sales assistant. Here's our playlist of videos. So if we want to change something just for this specific video when we're sending it, I can add a different video, I can delete it, I can do all kinds of different additions and subtractions in here. And if I sent a video to somebody and I put the wrong button on here, or I just wanted to remove a playlist video, I can still do it. And when it refreshes on the other side, they'll see the adjustment. Any Dubb video you save into the platform, you also can edit a video. Any video you record or upload into the platform. So I can hit the play button. Hey, John, what's going on? I can drag our timeline to any point that I want to cut. So if I want to cut this part out, I'll drag it here. I'll click the scissor icon. That'll split our clip into two, like you see right here. And then I just drag it to a second cut point. There was my first one. Let's just say this is my second one. Scissors. And now I've got three separate pieces. Whatever's highlighted in orange, that'll be the one you want. Click delete, and it's gone. And if you want to bring it back, undo, 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 and you're right back to the beginning. And then you also have here a design tab. So like we talked about in the beginning with the animated GIF, you can drag this to a different cut point in the video and you can use that as your 3-second animated preview, or you can upload your own thumbnail. But again, for, being efficient, it's nice to be able to just be able to record it, get ready, do it like we talked about, and then you're ready to go. Now, as far as sending these videos, like we recorded a video, we got it on a landing page, how do we throw it into an email and send it pretty quick? So what you can do is you open up a Compose. This is Gmail. You can do it for Outlook 365 as well. Again, we talked about it, video in the subject line. Now, if I want to add a video in here, I can do a couple things. This right here, this little Dubb button down here, appears down here because we have the Dubb Chrome extension screen recorder right up here at the top. See it appear, this little Dubb symbol? What is the Dubb Chrome extension screen recorder? It's what records videos that look like this. Anything browser-based that you can record on your screen. That's what that is. So when we have that, this little button shows up down here in Gmail, and in Outlook 365, it's off to the right in add-ins. And this gives us a little shortcut to add a video in. So what happens is when you click in here, you click the little button down the bottom, and immediately I can do a bunch of things here. I can record a video, that webcam video that we recorded earlier, I can record that right now from inside the email and drop it right in if I want to. If I go tab, I can put myself on the screen, like we'll see in a little bit. I can even turn my camera off and I can choose a video from my video library down over here to the bottom right. So if I have this video I want to add here, I go in here, I click advanced options. I put the email in of the person I'm sending it to because I want to get that advanced tracking. I can even add a little personalization text and then I can pop the video in and there it is. And I'm able to send it right from within the email client. Now, every video that you save into Dubb always has a big blue share and send button. So if you didn't want to use the shortcut that I just showed you, you can pull up a video inside of Dubb, click share and send, put the email in for tracking, the person you're sending it to, add a little personalization if you'd like, click copy for email, and then now it's just a copy and paste, and you drop it in just like that. So pretty easy to send, either shortcut or you copy and paste and you drop it in. Now, if we look at the screen recorder here, the Chrome extension that you're seeing right here, that's where you take a browser or website, you pull it up, you have it on there. Same thing you can do for LinkedIn. Okay, so any browser where you want to reach out and be on the screen, now you're going to see the Chrome extension, which is right up here at the top. Click here, it's going to open up. It's going to put us right on the page physically. There we are. You just want to take into considerations whatever website you pull up, you want to think about the shape of your webcam, the placement of your webcam, and the size of your webcam. So for something like this on LinkedIn and anything that you want to show, you obviously don't want to cover a lot of the information because you want people to see it. If you're going to do that, you might as well just go webcam. So in this case for LinkedIn, I'm going to reduce my size. I'm going to change my shape. You can change to other shapes. So depending on the website that you're on, change it to the shape that has the feel of the page. If it's more angular, make it a little more angular. For LinkedIn, I'm going to go circle because Ruben is in a circle right there. And I'm going to put myself right next to him. Now, when you're recording in here, you have some cool things you can do. Right up here at the top, I can zoom myself in. So if I want a tighter frame, I can move it so my face is right here, it's nice and tight. I also can back it up if I want to, and I can physically move myself around inside the bubble here. So for whatever way you want to frame, you have the ability to do it. I also can jump to full screen when I want to make a point, and I can jump right back to the page when I want to go back. You also have an annotation tool right over here to the left to point things out that a lot of people use, especially when you're walking someone through something. You also have access to a teleprompter. So if you want to use a script, just like we looked at before, you can pull up a script like we did. There's our script. You can drop this down, the speed, whatever you want. You can back the text off or you can zoom it in, all the same functions. This one's only a little different where you can kind of manipulate the sides a little bit and you can physically move this wherever you want to. So if I want to go up towards the camera, I'm up there at the top. Now with the Chrome, you have three orientations to record. You have screen, tab, and camera. If I go camera, that's a webcam version. If I go screen, it's going to record my entire screen, get all the tab mess I have at the top, everything that's on my screen. Unfortunately, it's going to show the teleprompter too. So if I want to go full screen recording, I'm going to use the desktop app instead, which I'm going to show you right after this. For Chrome extension recordings on browsers, I really like Tab because it's a nice clean cut of the page. You won't see any of the open tabs at the top. It's focused right on the page that you're on. Now, if you're going to use a teleprompter with this, because the Chrome extension is browser based, you don't want to go full screen on your browser because if you do, you're going to hide the teleprompter tab and you can't physically get to it. So you want to leave a little bit of space. So if I was going to hit record, I would then tap this to bring it forward and be able to use it. Now, as an example to record here, I'm going to click record. Here's my tab. I just chose it. There it is right there. I'm going to click share, and now I'm going to get my 3, 2, 1 countdown. Here we go. Hey, Ruben, this is Rob. Listen, hey, saw your profile over here on LinkedIn, and I did not know you were an author, my friend. I didn't know this about your book, but I saw something really cool. Check this out. So anyway, wave point, you do your thing, something interesting, right? And then I jump to full screen to talk to him. So to jump to full screen, you can hover over your bubble, double click, say what you want to say, double click to go back. You also can physically click on down the bottom, expand webcam, click that exact same button to go back. But when you do jump to full screen, it's really nice to be able to talk directly to the person with any point that you want to make. So even if it's not LinkedIn, if it's just a market update, your website, whatever it is, where if someone, a company, client website, you're walking someone through something, take a moment to jump to full screen, make your point about it. It's visually dynamic and it gets their attention and then go back to where you were. You also can hit the pause button right down over here. So if you want to pause the recording, you can do that. You can take a break and then click it again to resume. You also can freely scroll around, move, talk, whatever your natural style is. And definitely, a great tool to use, like we were mentioning, is the annotation tool to point things out. So we have advanced annotations on here. You can do text on screen. You can put things in numeric order. You can scribble on the screen if you want to. You can underline, do circles, all kinds of cool stuff. And then these annotations are going to stay where they're supposed to stay. So if I decide to continue down, they're going to stay right up here at the top where they should be. And then you can delete them when you're done. And then to save this video into Dubb, like we talked about before, it is the check mark right down here, and that is going to save it directly into the platform. And it's going to take us right to the video edit page that we looked at earlier, where we can make any changes, all the stuff we talked about in terms of customization. Now, the last screen recorder that we're going to look at is probably the coolest piece of tech that the team did design, and that is our Dubb desktop app. Now, the desktop app, you're going to Google Dubb desktop app, and then you'll click you get a little D symbol at the top and a little D on the bottom. It'll give you this menu here. And first, we're going to look at record screen so we can see what the differences and similarities are of what we just looked at with the Chrome extension. So the first thing we're always going to look at is the webcam. And the webcam has all the same stuff that the Chrome had. So if I click record screen, click webcam, same stuff, just they're in different spots in terms of the stuff that you can do, but all the same functionality. You also can click the annotation tool. The annotation tool does all the same stuff. They don't stay sticky when you use them. You got to show what you're going to show, then delete them, then keep moving. The teleprompter, similar in the fact that you can physically move it like the Chrome, but different in the fact that when you go in here and you find your script, you have a pretty cool option. And this option right here is auto track, which means voice recognition. So if I was going to hit record and I start reading the script is going to start moving at my pace. So that's different than the Chrome and different than the website that you saw for the teleprompter because that was just a scroll speed. This is auto track. Now, if you like the scroll speed and you don't want voice recognition, just click this button. It'll turn it off. And now you can do the scroll, the speed, whatever you want right in here, just like the other ones. So it's really just a choice in terms of what you want to do, depending on the day and maybe how you feel. In terms of recording, there's a red slash right down here in this square. What this means is if I was going to hit the record button, it would get my entire computer screen. If I get rid of this red slash, now I have the ability to click my drop down and I have choices here in terms of the borders of what I'm recording. Right now it's on 16 by 9 for YouTube. So that's the proper orientation for YouTube. Put it on top of whatever you want to put it on top of. You also can do 9 by 16. So if you wanted to do a social media video in a portrait format right from your desktop, you can do it just like this. You also have the ability to do custom, and this is where you can crop around anything that you want to crop around. So you can get very specific on a Canvas slide, document, video, website, whatever you want to really focus in on that one thing. And then the recording aspect, I hit record here, and this is different as well. So I have my 3, 2, 1 countdown, which is similar to everywhere else in Dubb with the 3, 2, 1, but the check mark is different. So as we've seen so far, when you click the check mark, like we did with the website recorder and like we did with Chrome, it saves it into the platform, not with the desktop app. When you click the check mark here, what's happening is you've just recorded a clip. So the desktop app records in clips that you're going to merge together at the end, all these clips, into one video. The neat thing about clip recording is you can drag and drop videos from your computer. So if I have an MP4 on my computer and I want to make it part of the story, I can do that. Every Dubb video that you save into the platform as well has an MP4 version you can download. So you can really build out a story here. Now, there were three creative options down here to the bottom left to continue recording because what I just did was a screen recording. But I want to keep going now. I want to do more clips. So how do I do that? So down at the bottom left, I'm going to click record screen. Same style that I just did. I'm going to click it here. It's going to bring me right back to where I was. I'm going to hit record again. And now I'm just recording a second clip in the same style that I recorded the first clip. So I'm recording here, click the check mark. There's my second screen recording clip and I can move them in any order that I want, which is nice because you don't have to go from A to Z. And you can hit the three dot menu and download or delete each individual clip. So you may love the first clip, but maybe you don't like the second one. Well, you don't have to lose the first one. Just get rid of the second one. And then if I want to do a webcam recording clip, that's the next button down here at the bottom left. So I'm going to click this one here, opens up my webcam, and now maybe this clip itself is about a very specific point I want to make. Maybe it's the opening of your video, maybe it's the end of your video, but it very visually is different than the clips you just recorded, so it'll stand out. And then again, you can move it anywhere you want to move it to. The last option down here is what's called Dubb Narrator. Dubb Narrator gives you the ability to play pre-recorded videos inside of your bubble. So instead of clicking record and you're in the bubble and you're multitasking, you could record something previously, put that pre-recorded video inside the bubble, and then put it on top of anything you want to put it on top of. So if I pre-recorded something, I pulled up a website or a document or a video, and I want to put myself on top of it, that's what Dubb Narrator is all about. So if I click the narrator button, it's going to take me inside my video library. I'll put narrator in because I have them all saved under narrator. And if I take this one here, let's grab this one right here. Here we go. And I can zoom myself in, move myself around, all the stuff we talked about. And then whatever I want to put myself on top of, I hit record. And now the pre-recorded version of me is going to do the talking on it.
So for customizing and editing, the Loom platform has a nice AI-powered editing tool.
And I can pause, resume, I hit the check mark, and then it would save it into the little queue there, and you start merging your clips together now. Now, once you have your clips down here, and I want to merge them into that one video, you're going to click the edit button to the bottom right. That's going to merge them all together into one video. Then you're going to hit the play button if you want to.
One countdown, which is similar to everywhere else.
And see them all together. And then you even have an editor that's just like the editor we have inside the Dubb platform. You can cut, paste, undo, all that right here before you even save it into the platform. You also have a little smart cut button where if you click this here, you can actually get rid of the silences if you want to. All the pink area are the silences if you want a tighter cut, but it depends on the style that you want. And then you can download the MP4 to your computer, and then you can upload it right into the Dubb platform. Now, the last kind of recording that we're going to look at is the mobile app. So if you have not recorded on the mobile app, it is a really fun way to record. It's very similar to the desktop app because the mobile app is also a clip recorder. So when you look at this, you're going to notice some immediate differences, similarities between the desktop app and the mobile. Mobile, when you're on here, if you're going to record something, blue camera icon at the bottom, right down here, we're going to click it. It's going to open up our camera. And when it opens up the camera, you're probably going to notice a couple things right away, especially if you're first time using it. It's going to say 1 minute. It's going to default for this. You can do for other specific times. I always slide it over to 10 so I'm not cut off. And then when I hit record, I'm going to tap the circle. And now I'm recording. You can see timer in the eye line, timer at the bottom. I'm going to tap it again. There's the clip that we just recorded. Now this clip has been automatically downloaded to my phone, so I have it in my photo video area if I need it. I'm going to hit record one more time so we have a couple clips in here. Again, each clip has to be at least 2 seconds. There's my second clip. And just like the desktop app, I can change the order. I can take my finger, hold one for a second, and slide if I want to move it around. And then if I tap a clip individually, I can delete, trim, or edit. Now, the edit button gives you some really cool options. You can add music if you'd like to. We have a whole library of royalty-free music. You can add text on the screen if you want to type a message above your head and move it around any font that you want, size. You can do a voiceover over the clip if you want to. You can speed up the action all within each individual clip. Now, this icon to the top is going to flip your camera around so you can record what's in front of you. This is your countdown timer. So if you want to do 3 or 10 seconds, you now have that. 3 seconds seems like the perfect amount of time. Then you're ready to go. Kind of reminds you to smile, get ready. And then if you want to use a teleprompter, it's this one right here. You're going to find your script like we did before. I'm going to say, okay, let's go. Let's see. Let's do gatekeepers here. Okay. This is your speed between 1 and 10. So we looked at before. You can adjust it up or down. Play button to see if you like that speed. Remember, you got to keep your eyes at the top. Now, if your eyes are not staying at the top here and they're wandering down, either increase the speed or you can use the guardrails here and slide up the words like this. So now my eyes have nothing to look at here. They got to stay at the top. If that's an issue, you have the ability to do that. And then you also can click the pencil icon if you want to make any changes. Because when you read a script and you read it out loud, you're like, oh, I kind of want to make some changes. Maybe I didn't like how that sounded. And you have the ability to do it right here. And then if you click the gear icon, you can click auto track. And now, like the desktop app, it's voice recognition. So it'll be like this. Think the company gatekeeper is tough? Try getting past their AI spam filter. Modern gatekeepers are algorithms and inbox rules. Want in? So it kind of goes at your own pace. So again, you can choose auto track for voice recognition or auto scroll for your speed. And then if you recorded something on your phone outside of the Dubb mobile app, you got just a video that you want to add down here. You can go to the folder button here. It'll take you to your photo video area, find the video you want. It'll say, do you want to add clips? Yes. And then you add that clip right down here. If you want to record your screen, this one. If you want to use filters, it's this one right here, black and white, skin smoothing, different color gradations. You all have that choice right in here. If you want to use picture in picture, like we saw in the very beginning, you can click this right here. It's going to open up your camera on both sides. And now I'm showing what's in front of me and I'm on the screen at the same time. I can make myself bigger, smaller. I can zoom in, back up, all within this one area to do picture in picture. The last option down here at the bottom is going to be your virtual background. So like we saw in the beginning of the webcam, whether it's someone's profile, property in real estate, article, anything you want, screenshot it on your phone, then go here, and then all you have to do is just go to your photo video area, find the photo you want, put it behind you, frame yourself in the right way you want to frame yourself, and now you've got a recording doing that. And like the desktop app, at the end, when you're ready to merge all these clips together, it's the blue button to the top right. That's going to merge them all. And then you're going to have a copy of the finished video downloaded to your phone in your photo video area. And then you can click the blue upload button, and that's going to upload it right into the platform. So, different ways to record visually that really stand out. So, really think about that. And with the mobile app, you can obviously do portrait or you can do landscape, depending on what you want to do there. Now, as far as the platform itself, I think everybody is so used to using ChatGPT, which is, an amazing, it's amazing. We have our own OpenAI AI writer within the dashboard as well. So inside here, if we go to our Dubb dashboard and we scroll down a little bit, we have our AI writer Ira right down here. So we have a bunch of prompts you can use in here. We also have this little profile feature that sits right over here to the right. So you'll notice it says basic and sales. This is very similar to when we talked about the landing pages, how we want different landing pages for different parts of our audience. Same thing here. So if I was in real estate and I had simple split buyers and sellers, I would just create one for buyers and create one for sellers for my profile. So what it is, when you set it up, you're going in here and you're just answering these questions about this part of your audience and this specific outreach. You even can choose a preferred tone of communication because it might be different depending on your audience. And you also have a little writing structure down here that you can apply called the have method. And H, open with a hook, we talk about it all the time. What's the first thing that you're doing? And then addressing the value, extending a compelling call to action. So you can either choose the structure or not, totally up to you. And then you say, okay, what part of my audience am I working on today? Oh, I'm going to be working on sellers. Great. And then you pick some, a prompt down here that we're all used to doing now. And I'll say on why video is the best sales closer. And then all you have to do is choose a length down here, hit submit. And then when Ira kicks back the copy to you, you're going to have some options. So you can have it read back to you in a voice if you just want to hear it read back, see how it sounds. You can copy it to a clipboard, save it into a doc. You can import it directly to scripts inside of the Dubb platform, then load it into a teleprompter and record your video. It's probably the most efficient way to use it if you want to use a teleprompter. You can also import it to a voice video. So this is an example of like if you didn't want to be on camera, you didn't want to use your own voice, maybe you're a little under the weather, but you want to send something a little more impactful than just like a text-based message. Upload a photo over here to the right, choose an AI voice, and when you send this video out, it's going to be the image and a little waveform that kind of moves across the screen like this. It's like a little wiggly fish. And then that's obviously, you on camera is probably the best, but that's a nice little variation if you want to send that. You also can import this directly to an avatar library. So if you want to go in here, here's the script, and choose an avatar from the avatars we already have pre-made in here, you can do that. Or you can create an avatar on your own right in here, choose an AI voice, and then you can use the avatars in email campaigns, or you can use them for walking someone through a screen recording if you want to do that. Maybe it's a setup, maybe it's educational, it's maybe how to fill out a contract or a listing agreement. You have the ability to do that. Now, we also have in here places to learn from. So if you're over here under training, right over here, this second link right here down to the bottom right, that's going to be your Dubb Academy. So this will take you through any of the videos that you need on a number of topics. They're all labeled. This is a nice spot to learn within here. And then if you're on our Pro Plus plan, you have founder coaching access. Now that's part of Pro Plus. That's where Darius and Ruben, they meet twice a week. They're doing it today. I think it's 11:30 a.m. They have their own curriculum, their own teaching. It's a little more in depth on a few things. They also have a form you can fill out called Open Mic that you can talk about your business in and out of the platform. That would be available for that. If you don't know about our partner program, we do a 30% recurring commission on anyone that subscribes to Dubb through this referral link right here. So in your Dubb dashboard, click apply now, creates this little referral link, and all you have to do is share it. And we're really supportive of the partners. So if you ever have a group of people together and you want me to come in and pitch to them, just let me know and I'll pop in and we'll do a presentation. Now, if you have CRMs that you really enjoy using, like if you have a HubSpot or a Salesforce or a Go High Level or a Follow Up Boss or anything like that, and you really love your CRM, you can absolutely keep your CRM and just add Dubb videos to it. We have all kinds of integrations with all kinds of different third-party centers and CRMs. So if you do like what you're doing, just add videos to them and you don't have to change. If you want to use Dubb as a CRM, you can. You can upload your contacts with a CSV file. You can do tasks, deals, and tags. You can do campaigns within Dubb if you'd like to. And we have automation available through our Pro Plus plan, where you can set up automated workflows as well. Now, if you do need help in here when you're in the dashboard, couple areas. Down over here to the bottom left, you have our chat. So you can chat with a AI agent or with someone on the team, or you can go in here and do a little keyword search for anything that you're looking for in terms of topics, and it will typically bring up an article, a blog, and a video at the same time. And then you also can use Auto, which is right over here to the right. This is our little AI guide that's been added recently. You can ask questions of Auto, ask, hey, what are the best 5 videos I should make in recruiting? It'll give you the advice, all detailed, have some links at the end. You even can ask Auto if you have your contacts in Dubb, if you wanted to add a contact to the Dubb CRM. You could say, add this email and name to my contacts. It will add it. You can even ask it to create a task as well. And we'll have a full training on this coming up soon in terms of a video. But that's all within the platform. So at the end of the day, it's really about deciding who's my audience, what video am I creating, and then what action do I want them to take? That's really what it's all about. Okay, so let me pop over here. Let me see what we've got. Jason automatically saves to the phone and we'll upload to Dubb when finished. Yes, that's correct. Yep. And then the YouTube channel. Great. And then if everyone hasn't checked this out, definitely check out. I think most people here have, but this link in the chat, our YouTube support channel, is where all these recordings go. So it's really a good idea if you see something you want to see repeated or you want to know more about a certain thing, just go to this link. The longer videos of the live trainings, about an hour. And then there's short snippets on there that the editing team takes out. So if I was talking about LinkedIn, there'll be a title that says, "Oh, how to reach out on LinkedIn," and it'll show you that there. The one last thing about LinkedIn that's important that I didn't mention it earlier, but if you're trying to send someone a video on LinkedIn, just remember to connect with them first. Because if you send a connection request and a video at the same time and they don't connect, they're only going to see a link and they might not watch it. But once they're connected, they can get that nice animated GIF. So you can click message and then see the little Dubb button down here at the bottom right there. That's where you click that there. You add the video in and then you send it. and they'll see this nice form right here, which is really what you want them to see, which is totally different than anyone else on LinkedIn. Um, so think about in your industry, who's your audience? What's your use case? If your use case is I'm introducing myself to someone, or I'm following up, or I'm re-engaging with my circle of influence, record from the webcam, hold up the phone, and think about what's the message that you're typing on there. What is that message? That's a really good form. If you're reaching out on LinkedIn, be in the bubble, be on their profile. That's a style. If you're doing a property walkthrough, grab the mobile app, go picture in picture. If you're doing a market update, use a screen recorder like the Chrome extension. Put yourself in a bubble, be on the report that you're showing, and use the annotations to walk someone through something. So these are ways to really stand out in just those four examples visually and just decide what bucket that you're in. And like I put in there earlier, if you want feedback, feedback at Dubb, just send us a video and we can get you moving in the right direction. So, anybody have any questions? Anything on their mind from what they saw? Anything specifically in terms of what they saw there? Anybody? Neil, your background is not virtual, right? When I use virtual on Zoom, it always distorts me if I move at all. Does Dub have distortions with virtual backgrounds? So for me, yeah, with my background, Neil, mine's physical, but like if I go like this, let me just show you this right here. If I go back in Dub, let's go here. I'll click the camera at the top. So in mine, if I shut the light off here, it's just a little tap light behind me. But you'll notice I have like I'm in the corner of the room. See the line down the middle? So I noticed that when you hit the light here and you're in the center, it kind of blocks the line and it goes off both walls. But I don't have anything on my walls. So if you have like a lot of physical things behind you, the thing to do is if you go virtual, you really want to pump up the light as much as you can in front of you. And you also want to bring down your edge blur. See this right here, this little button? If it's all the way up, you're a little more ghosty on the sides. But if you go all the way down, it'll give you the best cut. Now, if it's just terrible, I would keep all my movements in here. I wouldn't be going outside like this. I would be all kind of very compact in here like this. But if it's just not looking the way you want it, what I would do is I would pull up like a background. Let's say it's like this, right? And I would put myself in a bubble instead. And then what I would do is I would take the bubble and I would just make it zoomed in more. Like if I have, let me show you this right here. Let me hit record. I'll show you what I mean. You could do something like this. You could take a screenshot or something, right? And then put yourself inside a bubble. And then when you do this, you can zoom your face in. So let's just say here, let's say I'm on top of a document or a screenshot or a website, right? I can increase the size of my bubble, but then I could zoom myself in and kind of do one of these, like, and move myself down a little bit so I'm in frame and maybe just back off just slightly like that. And it's not that noticeable because I'm in tighter and I also can reduce my size and make it more about the background that I'm talking about than the thing that I'm actually, trying to do. So, and you could, I guess, worst case scenario, you could always record in Zoom with their beautiful virtual backgrounds and then upload that into Dub and then just edit it that way. So, hope that makes sense. Does that make sense, Neil? If you can hear me okay.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, cool. And and then anything else on anyone's mind before we head out? Any questions on anything? LinkedIn, basic email stuff, sending visuals, anything on that? Any questions?
I'm I'm signing up.
Sweet. Hey, welcome aboard. When
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do, make sure you get your setup though, because Ina and the team will meet you in Zoom and help you set up the pages, the buttons, and all the good stuff.
But
So,
I have Aileen Cavallero. I'm meeting with her this evening for half an hour. That's not set up though, right?
let's see. Have you subscribed yet, Neil? Are you still are you on a paid plan?
I haven't paid for anything yet.
Yeah, so once you do, then it will be the setup. So once you subscribe, then it's the setup call. So the meeting that you have with Eileen might be like just another walk through the platform a little bit and ask her any questions that you need. And then once you
Okay,
subscribe, then the calendar link will pop up and say, okay, book with the team so you can get the pages and everything set up.
okay.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Jason, thanks for the kind words, my friend. Appreciate it. Hope your wife enjoyed it as well. And thanks for coming, everybody. We really appreciate it. Anything on your mind before we go? Any words of wisdom you want to impart?
All good. All good.
All right, sweet. Everybody, thanks for coming. This will be on YouTube support in a little bit, and we'll see everyone tomorrow. You pop back in. Bye, everybody. Have a good
Bye.
rest of your Tuesday.